Hey guys, so I am back after a short break. In the last 2 weeks, I could not post a single video. The last 1 month was not that good for me. I have lost my father and I could not concentrate on the work. So, after all, I thought that this is the time to go back to the work, and so I am here with a new video. In today's video, I'll be presenting you the future of IRCTC. We have seen that IRCTC is down from 6,000 levels to 4,000 levels. So there is a chance of investing opportunity or something like that. So in today's video, we will be discussing that, and I'll be taking you to a LearnApp class, a free LearnApp class, a free LearnApp webinar where the people from LearnApp, they have actually analyzed IRCTC both fundamentally and technically. And guys, LearnApp also has their own courses. So if you want to join their courses, I'll leave you the link to join LearnApp in the video description. So from there you can also join the courses of LearnApp. But this video is free of cost. They have analyzed about IRCTC, so you can know whether it is the time to invest in IRCTC or not. So guys, let me take you to the LearnApp class. But before that, if you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel, this is the time to subscribe first.
So, in today's workshop, we are going to be talking about IRCTC, and I am Vasant. I'll be doing the fundamental analysis, and
I am Bharat. I will be doing the technical analysis. Yes. So,
so today we will look at what makes IRCTC so special, why the bull run has gone, and why has the dip happened. And should you really buy the dip? Should you not buy the dip? And Bharat will be explaining to you what trades you can take, if any trades are there that you can take.
yes. So guys, Vasant will take down the show from here. That's basically he would be covering the fundamental part. And as and when technical part comes in, I will come in. Thank you guys.
So welcome back, guys. So today's workshop is going to be very interesting. It is going to be something of a thriller for you guys because it is going to be on a stock called IRCTC. And we will discuss the main fundamentals of IRCTC. We will also discuss why the stock went up so much. And we will also discuss why it fell down. And in the end, we will give you clarity on trading and investment related different ideas so that you in the end can make your decision yourself. So with this, let's just talk about LearnApp for a while. So in LearnApp, we have more than 2.5 lakh active users who come onto our website daily and who learn from us, and even we learn from them in the discussion, in the comments. And apart from that, we have more than 250 courses catering to both traders and investors. So with this, let's just move ahead. So LearnApp, whether you're an advanced trader, whether you're a beginner investor, doesn't matter what you are. So some people are here who have been doing it for 7, 8 years. There are some people who have just started, and there are some people who are students. So it doesn't matter what your level is. LearnApp has a very structured learning map. You can go on this map and you can select your topic according to your level. So if you want to watch an advanced topic, you can directly jump to an advanced topic. If you want to watch the basics, you can directly go to the basics. So with this, we'll begin. So today's promise from our side is that by the end of this workshop, you will know a lot about IRCTC and you will be able to make a wise decision in investing or trading. And then why are we doing this workshop? Well, it's simple. IRCTC has been making huge headlines, and IRCTC, after making headlines, the stock price also has been going up and up and up, and it has fallen also the same way that it has gone up. So it has been making headlines very recently for the dip as well. And so to explain all these things, we're doing this workshop today. So are you guys excited? So what do you guys think? Because, IRCTC has already gone up so much, Do you think now it can be a multi-bagger, or now it is going to start falling and it can make you multi-bagger? 100x multi-bagger. So type in the chat and let me know, do you think this is 100x or minus 100x? Now, do you guys like to travel in trains? Personally, I love traveling in trains because in trains, I get to meet new friends. I get to meet elder people who get food. And especially, I love the food that Gujarati and Marwadi people get in the trains. And I love sharing the food with them. I love talking to them. You meet small kids. So what do you guys think? Say yes if you like traveling in trains. There are some uncomfortable things that you need to go through during the train journey. But I think I personally enjoy the whole journey. And I think most of you also do the same. Now, second question. So all of us must have traveled in train at least once, right? Where do you guys book the tickets from? So type in the chat and let me know where you're booking your tickets from. You could book it from an online platform. You could book it directly from Funplace. So everyone is writing IRCTC, IRCTC, online. And yes, all of you are absolutely correct. To book any kind of train ticket, you have to use IRCTC. Now, why am I saying so? Well, IRCTC has its own online website. It has its own application, mobile application for both iOS and Android. And apart from that, even if you book train tickets from sites like ClearTrip, or even if you go to physical agents who book train tickets for you, they have to do it through IRCTC. So in the end, there is no competition, like someone has just mentioned, no competition for IRCTC in train ticketing. But now, before going to some numbers, I'll just stop my screen for a while. Let us actually look at the business segments of IRCTC. So before we look at the business segments, I am going to use the board. So please type yes if you can hear me from here and you can see the board clearly. So type yes and let me know if you can see the board and you can hear me clearly. Okay, super. So I'll just explain the business segments of IRCTC. So number one is, of course, ticketing. Now in ticketing, IRCTC, because they have a huge platform both online and in mobile. Okay, so is the board visible now? Is the board okay now? Great. Okay, so I'll thank my tech team for this. They have immediately done this. So the first business segment of IRCTC is, of course, ticket booking. That's called ticketing. And initially, they used to do it for railways. But now, because they have a mobile application ready, they have a website ready, now they are foraying into bus ticketing and also airline ticketing. So bus, airline. And you guys also must have read very recently, right? IRCTC is also going into cruise. So that means they'll be starting ship ticketing or cruise. So you can see they are covering almost every kind of transportation available. And they are going to be a very big player in all these kinds of ticketing. So this is one of their business segments. But the second business segment is catering. So what catering means is basically provision of food. So I can see there are some questions here. Okay. So what I can see is that, the second segment is catering. Now, catering is the presence of food in your train, the presence of water and all those kinds of things in your train. So in catering segments, they do it for railways. And in railways, they have special trains. You guys all must have heard about something called the Maharaja Express. So the Maharaja Express literally takes you in Maharaja style and they feed you cuisines of wherever you're going. So this Maharaja Express goes through Rajasthan, goes to different parts of India, and they feed you the cuisine from that place. And this Maharaja Express has turned out to be very, very successful for IRCTC and the Indian government. Maharaja, and normal trains, of course. So in the normal trains, again, there are some kinds of trains. Pramod has mentioned the Golden Chariot, correct? So there are some kinds of trains which have been running for a long time, but we surely enjoy the food of those trains. And those trains are Rajdhani, you have the Shatabdi, and you have the Duronto Express. So even in these three trains, the kind of food that comes is all given to you by IRCTC. And they also make a lot of revenue from this segment. But now let us look at the interesting part. The catering and the ticketing business shows up on their name, correct? Like we all know, right? IRCTC matlab catering and ticketing. But the interesting thing to see is their foray into the two other segments. So what are the two other segments? Number one is the tourism industry. Now, what IRCTC thought was that they are already giving you the transportation to go from one place to other place. That means whenever you want to go for a holiday, whenever you want to go to work, or whenever you want to go from work to home, IRCTC is already giving you the transportation, right? So what IRCTC has done is that they have thought just instead of giving just the transportation, why not make tours and travels like applications? That means they will give you a complete tour with all the itinerary, where to go, hotel stay, all those sort of things. And that is a new business and it has just started. So what they are giving? Package tours. And they are also giving hotel booking. And apart from this, a very, very interesting thing has happened. So type in the chat and let me know if this seems interesting to you. Do you think in India, the Char Dham Yatra or the Tirth Yatra is something that everyone does in India? So type yes if you think the Char Dham Yatra and the Tirth Yatra is exciting, very much potential. Most of them, yes, mostly. One such says no. So IRCTC has actually started giving Tirth Yatras and the Char Dham Yatras. So what IRCTC does is in that package tours, they will take your parents or you to all the 4 religious places and they will cover the Char Dham, as to say. So that has also just started. Then the last thing to notice, Surjit says near elections only. Well, I don't know. I cannot comment on such things. The last segment to notice is a very, very simple thing, but sometimes we outlook those kinds of simple things. So it is actually the rail need or the rail water. Now, what IRCTC has done interestingly is that if you're traveling in trains, the water that you get with your food, apart from your food, comes directly from IRCTC's brand called Rail Need. And they have set up more than 7-8 water stations across India so that any part of the train connectivity will get this water. So here they have more than 8 plants spread across India. So now you have the whole picture. So just take a look at this board and you'll realize how many businesses is IRCTC doing. So let's just count them up. Let's just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they have more than 10 different types of businesses that they're getting into. And all of them seems to have some kind of potential. So Surjit is saying 5 rupees bottle. Soumya is saying IRCTC will launch a bullet train. Maybe soon. I cannot comment on it. Once it comes, then we'll take a look at it. So Ravi Kumar says, kindly share the SWOT analysis. Well, Ravi Kumar, I'll make it more simple. So with this, let's take a look at the numbers. Let's go to the PPT. So before going on to the numbers, just take a look at their business segments again, and you will realize how big this company is. And for such a big company, if you remember the IPO was launched at around 600, 700 rupees. And around that price, the company was valued only about 10 to 15,000 crores. So that's right. That's a very, very small valuation for such a big company. And automatically, when such a small valuation was given to such a big company, the share prices started going up. But let us look at some numbers that support that these segments are doing well. So you can see, like someone mentioned, only authorized, it is the IRCTC is the only authorized company to give out train tickets and do train ticketing. That means it has 100% monopoly in this segment. Now, if they have 100% monopoly, you can try to put your economic sense at use, and you can see if one has a monopoly, they will have something called pricing power, they will have something called geographical power, and they will be using all this power to rake in more and more revenue. And of course, when this revenue comes in, there'll be more profit, and the shareholders are the one who will benefit out of this. So next thing to notice are the big numbers that you can see. On an average, more than 1.4 crores, that is 145 lakhs, more than 1.4 crore people on an average book tickets in one single month. Just multiply this number by 12 and you'll realize how many people book how many tickets. And the next thing to notice is that even though the company is so big, the company has managed to make platforms online, managed to make platforms on the phone, the company has never taken one single rupee of debt. They have only financed by their own profits. They have never taken debt from anyone until today. Their borrowings are zero. We will take a look at this number in the balance sheet as well later on. And as you can see, the Surjit has said 16.8 crores tickets per year. So think about it. Now, automatically, if they get, you can see the lowest thing, rupees 15 per ticket plus taxes, and then rupees 30 per ticket plus different taxes. That means on every ticket, they will be making around 30 rupees or 25 rupees. So you try to multiply 16.8 crores into 25 or 30, and you will try to understand, and you will begin to understand how big this company can really be. So with this, let's go to the next slide. In the next slide, you will observe how much revenue is coming from what area. So you can see 57%, that is major share of the revenue still comes from ticketing. And the promoters and the chairperson especially. So IRCTC is also very special for me because I think female management or female executives are really, really promising. And I always take the example of Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw and Indira Nooyi from PepsiCo. And IRCTC, if you go and check, IRCTC also has a female chairperson. And she thinks that IRCTC should not be dependent on ticketing. And so quickly they are diversifying into different segments so that they are just not dependent upon one thing. So you can see there, 29%, that's almost 30% of the revenue is coming from catering. 7% each is coming from tourism and rail leave. But you can see, interestingly, even though the Tirth Yatra, the state Tirth, the pink color thing, even though that has just started and it is not giving good amount of revenue, they have mentioned it in their business segments and they have proudly mentioned it as 0%. Now, why is this so? Because they definitely think that this Tirth Yatra and the Char Dham Yatra is going to get them huge revenue from next year's onwards. That's why they have kept it as a different business segments. This tells you how much confidence the promoters themselves have on that segment and have on that kind of industry. So this slide was about the promoters' confidence. Now, IRCTC was catering everything to railway, transportation, tourism, correct, right? So do you guys think, it must have been hampered by the pandemic, right? So type and let me know, type yes to let me know if you think IRCTC was, negatively affected in Corona. Type no if you think IRCTC was positively affected from Corona. So Yogesh says no, Sai Madhu says no, but most of you are saying yes. So Surjit says, but I guess Char Dham Yatra has religion associated, so will be very volatile in pricing, may be free at election. Well, I do not know, Surjit. These are just rumors, and I cannot really comment on these rumors. So most people are saying negatively affected, negatively affected. Yes. Mangesh says IRCTC started extorting money from general public. They are charging rupees 10 per hour in eating room. I experienced at Pune railway station. Well, Mangesh, as inflation is going on and as people are making more and more money, IRCTC is also going to keep increasing its prices. But as you mentioned, 10 rupees an hour seems to be a reasonable price, isn't it? 10 rupees an hour is not a very, very big price. It's something that most of us can pay. So with this, now let's just see. So most of you told IRCTC was very negatively affected and they must have fallen to the ground because nothing was working. But in reality, surprise, surprise, in reality, IRCTC in the year of the pandemic, that is 2021 fiscal year, they sold an average 4.8 lakh tickets per day. Now you must be thinking, who are buying these tickets? Pandemic was going on, right? But these are the tickets that have gone to Shramik trains and Tejas Network related trains. Now Tejas Networks, don't get confused with the company. The Tejas Network trains were trains that were specifically started in Corona and were cheap trains which transported most of the laborers and people around who had migrated from their own house. So Mandar has mentioned correctly here. So pandemic has actually helped them expand more and actually helped them develop their R&D and those things because they got time to do so. But let's just see that, you can clearly see that in the year of 2020-21, take a look at the right side, 361 lakh tickets, that is more than 3.5 crore tickets, was sold through just their online website. Then more than 8 crore tickets were sold on their mobile application and more than 5.5 crore tickets were sold through different agents and different types of websites. So you can see overall, if after all those ticket selling, even in the pandemic year, which can be the worst year for them considering everything was shut down, they have still managed to make 17,000 crore in revenue. And that is obviously less than previous year and will be lesser than the next years. But you can see they have not gone to zero. They have still managed to maintain a very good level of revenue and sales, and they have managed to maintain some kind of profitability. So Ashwin is saying absolutely wrong to say it did not get affected during pandemic. Their revenues were down during that period. Absolutely, Ashwin, you are correct. Their revenues were down. But what most people would think is that because everything was shut down, their revenue should have been zero, right? But even then, when the lockdown was going on, when everything was shut down, and in certain cities, Section 144 was imposed, and even between those kind of things, they managed to make this kind of money. So this shows how resilient they are and how stable they are. So I'm not saying pandemic did not affect them. It affected them, but not as much as we think. So with this, let's move ahead. So do you guys want to know how it affected their financials? So type yes in the chat and let me know if you want to look at their fundamentals and financials. So Surjit says yes, Satish yes, Alagappan yes. Okay, so all of you want to see their financials? So let's take a look. So this is the quarterly results of IRCTC. And here I would like to point out at a very, very unique thing. Now, generally, when we look at financials and especially profit and loss, we take a look at just the profit and the loss. But here, why I have increased the expenses part is take a look that during the pandemic, the expenses part, and especially during the June 2020 and the September 2020, that is when the nationwide lockdown was going on, you can see the employee costs have gone up more than 2-3 times. Now, what does this mean? This is very simple. In our childhood, all our teachers, all our parents, everyone used to say कि जाके गवर्नमेंट की नौकरी करो या go get a government job. Why so? Because government will keep you safe, government job is safe, and we never really understood, right? But I am really understanding this point by looking at the expenses. So you can see here in their expenses during the pandemic year, like any other private player, they have not just left the employee to go and fetch for himself. They have actually helped their employees and they have actually increased their help to employees. Now, employees, if they required any hospital help, any health checkup help, all this was provided to them by IRCTC. Now, think about it for a second. If the employees were treated so well during the worst time in 100 years, the employees' response from next year onwards is going to be very, very positive for the whole company. And employees will think that the company is so good to them, and in return, they will also be very good to the company. And in turn, they will work very, very hard, and automatically this will show up in the financials of IRCTC. Then the next thing, like I said, like I was mentioning, to note is that you take a look at their borrowings, the company in its whole lifetime has never taken a single rupee of debt. Now, just to make you understand how much this works and how good this parameter is, today, these startups are saying that they are bootstrap startups, they have not taken funding, they have not done this. So that bootstrap startups is not a new thing. IRCTC has been bootstrapped forever. They have been just using their profits to make more and more of their business segments. And they have not taken a single rupee of debt till today. So the first bootstrap startup in India might as well be IRCTC. Now, for one of the more important things or one of the last things to note here is the profit from operations. Now you can see profit from operations is increasing in a stable manner. And that shows that the company has stability in their revenue and especially in their revenue from operations. Now, what does this revenue from operations mean? This means that they get profits directly from their core business and they do not need to depend on some other income or some other kind of financial investments, and they can solely depend on all their business segments. And this is really, really great for company. So Ravi Kumar is asking, what is bootstrap startup? Well, bootstrap startup just means that they have never taken any funding, they have never taken any debt, they are running on their own profits. So there is a big question by Nishil. So I'll just ask my teammate here, Akshay, to note down that question. And I will take the bigger questions towards the end of the workshop. And in the last 10-15 minutes, we will talk about your questions. But now, the interesting part is, so Saurav Kumar is asking me to explain the receivable part. So that is very good that you noticed that. And I actually sort of forgot about it. So you can see in the year 2021, the receivables has increased. Now this has happened due to the pandemic majorly and not because they have any problems in their business. In the pandemic, what has happened is that everyone is falling short of cash, right? Everyone has less liquidity. So what has happened is that IRCTC is allowing some of their business segments to run on credit. And because of those kinds of things, their receivables has gone up. So I hope I answered your question, Saurav. Now for the next slide, IRCTC, when it came out in the IPO, it was fairly valued. But since the IPO, the stock has gone up 10x. So of course, their valuation has also gone up 10x, no? So take a look at their PE and take a look at their price to book value. When they just IPO'd, their PE was around 25. Today, it has gone up 10x and it has become 270. And their price to book also has gone up 10x. When they initially came out with an IPO, their price to book was around 4.5, 4. But now it has become 50x. That means the company is valued 50 times more than its actual business. And that makes the company a little bit expensive. And that could also be the reason why a sudden dip had come in the market. But now, fundamentally, it looks like you can buy the dip. Fundamentally, it looks like this company is doing very well. But what was the reason for the fall? Fundamentally, I can only say that this can go up for this reason, this can go up for this reason. But fundamentally, I cannot really tell you why the fall happened. So for that, you have to look at technical analysis. And for technical analysis, I have my friend Bharat.
Hey guys, how are you? So we will see, yeah. Vasant, thanks. That was a great workshop, like on fundamentals. I knew a lot about it. And Shurjit, thanks a lot. Welcome. Yeah, hi all. So guys, we will go to the journey of price and what led to this fall of IRCTC. So the first thing is, guys, this is the journey of IRCTC from the IPO in itself. That's basically, it never gave a little bit of breather also, and it was in the uptrend from the very launch. And within a very few days, we can see the strong trend here. And then COVID happened, and it was a huge rejection which came into the market. And as and when after that, there was like a bit of uncertainty throughout market for a little time. But IRCTC, the sentiment was not really good. So a bit of rubber band effect happened and accumulation compression happened. As and when it was trying to breach the supply zone created by COVID, what happened is, here is where it actually breached outside. That's like it said that it's ready for something big. And as and when in the next slide, we will see the post-COVID breaching the supply zone. That was a hell of a bull run right there. That's like, it was a crazy run. It can also be called as a mad bull run. So what really happened was, it was going really very, like it was a 5x in around 5-6 months. No, not 5x, around 3x in 5-6 months. So that was really crazy. And what actually happened is, there was a news before 2 days. That's like on 11th. That is like mutual funds have actually started booking a little bit of profit. So they have not completely booked out. They have started booking a very little bit of profit. And that after this 2 days, the market rallied. That's the IRCTC rallied for 2 more days for retailers to get in, provide enough liquidity for the mutual funds. And then what happened? It fell off. But look, in the technical analysis part, were we able to figure it out? I tried reading the data. I tried reading the charts. I found, yeah, there were few bookings, few deliveries which were not happening, and few profit booking was happening in charts. But then this was a market order. But suddenly the fall was like not expected. But yeah, this all was actually led by institution and all of us, the retailers. And then again, there is a bit of money which is actually being pulled out, and we really don't know who actually is doing it. There are few mutual funds who are slightly booking out the profits. But yeah, in our indicator study, for sure from 18th May, we got an entry as per the last, like we had recently seen, right? This is RSI and how to trade this. As per that setup, yes, it has given a very good bull run. And it was actually very overheated, and then there is a negative reversal also which is seen. And as in when the price is falling, it did took a support at 60 of the RSI level, which was as expected. And then comes, first of all, guys, a healthy uptrend looks like, we know, right? IRCTC was in a very good healthy uptrend. It was not healthy, it was super healthy or whatever we call. But how does a normal healthy uptrend looks like? I will just try to draw it on chart, and I will show it to Blackboard and show it to you. So guys, in an uptrend, so basically if the chart is linear like this is considered to be a healthy uptrend. This is considered to be a healthy uptrend. But what actually happened to IRCTC was, it was going like this. So if at all something like this is happening in chart, then there is something which we need to be very cautious. It can be really a multi bagger for us, also the volatility will increase as and when things go up here. So we need to be very careful when we see trends like this. So that's exactly what actually happened to IRCTC also. So in this we can see, one sec. Yes. So for example, this is Asian Paints, and one of my favorite company, and for a very long time it has been a consistent compounder. And see, this is how it did. That's basically, it kind of doubles your money every 2 to 3 years, or something like that. And this is how it is, like 45 degree from left to right of the chart. It is like very linear. But this is how IRCTC looked like. For example, it was like this completely up. And this is what Bitcoins usually do. And this is not seen in charts in equity market very frequently. And yeah, then again, when we see the trend was crazy, we can even see the flag and pole pattern, like pole, then there was a flag, then it happened, then from there it fell off. And yeah, here is where actually the mutual fund, the news in itself came, and then 2 days it was rallied like anything. We all got in and we provided a lot of liquidity, and there was a fall in this particular stock. And so what exactly charts say, technicals say will do is, basically what will happen is, somewhere after this big fall, basically it did breach a authentic zone which is here, which it didn't respect at all. So I can think market can consolidate here a bit. Guys, this is not a recommendation. This is just what charts are saying. Any technical analyst look at a chart, everyone would be having a very different perspective. So I am expecting it can consolidate a bit, and maybe it can still come down, and somewhere here I would be interested to buy. And again, this would be my stop loss around 3,560. And if at all it breaks further down, I will still be out of the trade. And if at all, if I'm on the long side, I will buy post it goes here, or else it reaches this authentic supply zone. That's where I will be trying to actually look at initiating a position. So for now, technicals of IRCTC says, please hold a while. It can be a bit sideways market. Maybe you guys all know, right? I love options trading. If at all there was liquidity in our IRCTC's options, I would have been initiated an iron condor or something on lines of it. So yes, guys. So in the meanwhile, guys, we have actually come to the end of the workshop. We will take the question and answers in a while. But before that, let me tell a bit about learnapp.com. So learnapp.com is where actually the courses are very structured way, be trading, investing, business. And then technical analysis, which we did, is taught by Vishal Mehta. And if at all you are interested in equity strategies, that's like it's taught by Tom Basso. He is one of the Market Wizard. Market Wizard is a well-reputed book from Jack Spager, and he has grown his wealth to around 35,000%, which is crazy. And there are few backtested strategy. And if you love options like me, this is the options course module, the whole path. And then after learning it, you can apply the live strategies in it. And this most of them are backtested, and everything is used by managers who have a big fund, entrepreneurs who have big funds, and they are doing it. And there comes this Discord community. So once this happened, there is a workshop which actually happens. That's like something on lines of it, in which we regularly update ourselves. Then comes a Discord community where if at all you guys have doubt, you ask it. So that is what the whole LearnApp is. So by the way, guys, what do you think? How is this learnapp.com?
So my dear friends, the LearnApp people has analyzed the IRCTC stock very well. Now what about my opinion? Whether to invest in IRCTC right now? So now guys, IRCTC is trading at a very high P multiple. So this is the data of IRCTC. Currently you see the high P multiple of IRCTC. IRCTC is trading at a very high price to earning ratio. So if you want my suggestion, I am not going to invest in this high P multiple in IRCTC right now. So this is not a good time to invest in IRCTC. Rather, you need to wait for further dips, or rather you need to wait for the earnings of the company to move up as per the price. So guys, my decision in investing in IRCTC is currently a big no.